Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, we're going to be jumping straight in to achieve this color. I know you see 20 and 40 volume in the back, but I would say get 30 volume developer and then some bleach. The 40 volume lifted much quicker than the 30. This is my sister's wig, not mine. I did mine the exact same way though, but the difference is I used 30 volume instead of 40. Now your results may vary. This is not a guarantee. Depends on what quality of hair you have, the bleach, how long you leave it on, etc. So we're just taking a couple of scoops of bleach. This is all eyeball. None of this is precise. Sorry about that, but we're just taking a couple of scoops of bleach and mixing it with the developer. You want it to be not too runny, but not super thick, as if you were dyeing the knots on a closure. So kind of like a medium, maybe a little bit looser than pancake batter, if that helps. So you just want to mix it well until there's no clumps, chunks, or anything like that. Keep mixing, and then we will begin the dyeing process. So this step is optional, but I did want a little bit of highlighted pieces, or money pieces as they say, in the front, as did she. So that's what we're doing. We're just sectioning it out, the amount of hair that we want to be lighter in the front, and we're starting with that first, just because you want it to be one of the lightest pieces on your hair. So you want to start with that and make sure that when you go up towards the roots that you do kind of feather it out a little bit, so that way it is not a harsh line of just where the bleach starts and the dyed hair is. This step is also optional, adding the foil. It's supposed to lock in the heat and help the hair lift quicker. I wouldn't do this if this is your first time or you're not as confident in dyeing your hair yet, so it's up to you. Okay, now we're going to be starting at the bottom of the hair. You want to section it in kind of like a ponytail, if that helps you. You just want to make sure that you are getting all of the strands on the inside of the hair as well. So once you coat it on the outside like we're doing here, you have to separate the hair and make sure that you've got all the strands on the inside, otherwise you will have a lot of patches. Now there's different ways that you can dye your hair. This is just the easiest, quickest, laziest way. You just have to, well, I wouldn't say lazy, because you have to really be precise and make sure you get in those strands like we're doing here, but it is I would say just a quicker way. But as you want to note at the top where we're starting the dye, you want to make sure that you just kind of blend that out. You don't want any harsh lines anywhere on the hair, so just use your fingers, your brush, or whatever to kind of like feather out the top. Now you can go as high up or as low as you want. This part is just so that it can be the ombre effect of having the lighter ends, and it goes up to the medium and then the darker. So that's what we were going for here. If that's not what you're going for, then do it however you want, make it your own. It's up to you, but this is what we were doing. So also, like I said, we were using the 40 volume. I would recommend 30 volume so that your hair will lift at a slower pace and probably won't get as light, because we were going for the golden brown Beyoncé color, and that's what we were able to achieve. I also want to note that we left the sections of hair in the bleach for about like 15 minutes a section. So we started at the bottom, we left it for 15 minutes before, like 10 to 15 minutes before we started adding the other hair dye, the other bleach to the other sections of the hair. It's because you want the bottom to be a little bit lighter than the rest of the hair, so you just want to let it sit for a few minutes before you start adding the other bleach. You can even let it sit for probably like 5 to 8 minutes if you don't want to let it sit for that long. My sister and I both have hair from Asteria Hair. Hers is, I believe, a loose deep wave, and mine was a body wave. I'm not sure why hers got a little bit lighter than mine did. Well, probably because we used 40 for her and I used 30 for me, but just keep that in mind. Like I said, results will vary depending on what hair you have and how you use the bleach. So just remember to follow the same steps as before, just saturating all of the strands, also feathering out the top so that there are no harsh lines. If you want the ombre to go higher or to be on the entire wig, then you can definitely continue these steps until you've reached the top of the hair, but we were not going for the entire look. We just wanted it to be like a medium ombre. So I will show you guys what the hair looked like after everything is washed out. We did leave this one on for an additional like 15 minutes, and then we were able to rinse out the hair, and then we used T15 T11 toner as well.